In this demo, let us go through and have an overview of the transaction RSec admin. RSec admin is a new transaction that SAP introduced for the analysis authorization concept. So using this transaction code, analysis authorizations can be built and managed. So let's go and execute the transaction RSec admin, RSEC admin. Now this is a very key transaction code for analysis authorization because you can do everything from this one transaction code as far as analysis authorization is concerned. So let us see what can we do with this. So the RSec admin tab has, the transaction has three tabs. One is the authorizations, the second is the user, and the third one is analysis. Now let's see what we can do in each of these tabs. Now in the authorizations tab, you can create or maintain the analysis authorizations. So if you want to say create analysis authorization, you can, okay, it already exists. Let's say create. You can create an analysis authorization using create if you want. So we will create analysis authorizations when we start the examples. You can generate the analysis authorization by clicking on that button. So here you specify, you give the ODS objects for which you want to generate the analysis authorizations. And using this option, you can, the analysis authorizations that you created, you can transport them. So you have two analysis authorizations here. The 0BI all is something that SAP provides to give access to all characteristics or info objects that have been made authorization relevant. So using the authorizations tab, you can manage the analysis authorizations. Now, the user tab, you will find all the functions that you would need to assign analysis authorizations to a user. So you can see there are two boxes here, analysis authorizations and NetWeaver transaction codes. Now let's do NetWeaver transaction code first. When you click here, this button, like you see that the description there, it will take you to the transaction SU01. So you can go to SU01 to assign the roles to the user by clicking on this button. And when you click here on this button, the role maintenance button, it will take you to the PFCG screen where you can create the role or add the analysis authorization to a role. Now if you want to directly assign analysis authorizations to individual users, then you can use this option. So when you click on this option, it will let you assign the analysis authorization to a user directly. So if you can click on enter the user ID and click on change, and then you give the analysis authorization that you have created and say insert, and you save it. So this means this analysis authorization has been assigned to the user Subha. And again, if you click here, it will take you to SU01. If you click here, it will take you to PFCG. If you want to remove the analysis authorization again, click on change, select this, and click on that option to delete the row and save it. Now, this should not be your preferred way of assigning the analysis authorization to user because in these steps, you will have to do it for every user. So if you have an analysis authorization that needs to be assigned, let's say 0BI needs to be assigned to 100 users, you need to do this step 100 times. Go back, enter the next user ID, click change, give and assign, and then save. So you have to keep on repeating this. So the best option to assign analysis authorization to a user would be through roles, so that it could be assigned to all those people who need access to that analysis authorization. The next option you have is to transport the assigned analysis authorizations for the user. This is not a preferred way of doing it, because if this ID doesn't says analysis authorizations would be created in development system, and if this user ID does not exist in development system, then it becomes a problem. The third tab that you have is the analysis tab. This is where using these options here you do troubleshooting and monitor the analysis authorizations. So there is a procedure to do that. So what you do is you can go to error logs and then configure log recording and enter the user ID here for whom the logs have to be traced. Then you say add user if you want to add more users, and save it. And then from that point on, it will start recording whatever, let's say, this Subha is doing. The system will trace the analysis authorization for the user Subha. If you want to delete the logs, you can delete using this option. We'll see when we do that. But let's go back and let's remove the user IDs. We'll come back to this in the demo, troubleshooting demo. You can generate logs. Nothing is found because nothing has been done yet. So if you want to execute as another user, you can enter the user ID here and then select these options to monitor the logs. So these are the three options that you have, act functions that RSec admin would let you do. One is maintaining the analysis authorizations, like creating, changing, generating, transporting. You can do all that in the authorizations tab. In the user tab, you can assign the analysis authorizations to the users, either directly or through a role. And in the analysis tab, you work with the error logs for analysis authorizations. So this is a brief overview of the transaction RSec admin, which is the key to work with analysis authorization from a security standpoint.